Hey guys, Adam aka askcsradical here, and thank you for checking out this episode of the VCR Podcast. For more content, you can visit our Instagram at vcr.podcast. If you are looking for a video version of this podcast, you can visit my YouTube channel at csradical. And if you are coming from the YouTube channel looking for an audio version of the podcast, you can check us out at anchor.fm/VCR Podcast for all available platforms. Thanks for checking us out, guys, and let's get on with the show.
You have entered the realm of the VCR Podcast with your hosts, Fish,
They're just bastardizing our childhood and the classics.
Chris,
Nintendogs drove me. It's what makes me want to hurt people.
Radical.
People in general still bitch about everything. It still doesn't change.
Let the podcast begin.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the VCR Podcast, the only podcast that predates itself from the moment the title is spoken. Adam, Vish, and Chris here with you guys. Brittany is not joining us on the second episode of the end of the 2010s with us, but she is here in spirit.
Being a total bitch.
Yeah, she is Brittany, bitch.
Yeah.
But as we said, this is 2 of 2, so this is going to be our top 5 films of the 2010s, and that's all we're going to do because we don't need to be here any longer than we already are, and we like to go eat wings after shows. So
Chicken wings. Possibly the
Ain't no
last
thing
wings
like a chicken wing.
of the decade.
yeah. And of course, we go to the best place we got.
Oh yeah.
The Fool.
Fool and Flagon.
They better start sponsoring us soon.
Yeah.
Man, no, I'm not rambling here. I
Today's
promise
episode is brought to you by Chicken Wings
It's brought to you by Madden.
and Friendship.
Dude, I'll be more than happy. I will play
I would
Madden
not be. I would be
24
very
hours.
upset. I don't want to have that NFL sponsorship.
Actually,
Who's making? I'm a seller. What are they paying?
Yes, exactly.
But anyways, this is a show, like we said, that's going to be about the 5 best films that we've seen in the last 10 years, which I thought was going to be the easier one. Turns out that was not the
Yeah,
case.
this was a lot
And
harder for me.
I myself managed to only choose one MCU movie.
I refused.
And yeah, it was hard.
I only let myself pick one, and there was like a 3-way tie. And none of them are Infinity War.
Yeah,
Spoilers.
so anyways,
For you.
so we're going to do
Spoiler.
the same order that we did last time. We're not going to really have any fluff on this one. So Chris, we'll start with you as we did with the last show. What do you got?
So this is in any order? Nope, not in any order.
Not okay.
I just kind of wrote them down.
They happen to be movies.
Yeah, they happen to all be movies that came out in
amazing.
this decade. The first one, which when I saw that it came out in this decade, I was like, oh yeah, holy shit, that's crazy. But my first one is the movie Inception.
That was another
Dream
one too that
within
I'm
a
like,
dream.
I forgot that was
That was-
2010. That's
Yeah.
just making me feel old.
Yeah.
See, that movie, I liked it, but it wasn't like one of my mind-blowing...
That movie blew my mind. I don't know why. I think it was just the
Zero
people that
gravity
were in
fight
it.
scene?
Yeah.
Like, that was cool. And
The
I
dream
like,
within the dream within the dream.
I mean, also, it was like right in the heyday of like really loving Christopher Nolan stuff because
Yeah.
obviously
yeah,
Dark Knight.
and then Dark Knight Rises was coming.
Yeah.
I mean, you had a pretty star-studded cast there too.
Yeah, Leo was in it. Lovett was in it. I loved it. I loved the movie.
Page,
I loved the
Tom Hardy.
music.
Sorry, let's rephrase this. Bane was in it. Robin was in it.
But yeah, you got a
Ra's
pretty
al Ghul was
The
in
bad
it.
guy from Django Unchained.
Yes.
you got a fantastic group of people in that movie,
Yeah.
and the story. People would be like, "Oh, it's confusing." I'm like, "Yeah, I think it was kind of meant to
It
be."
was
But
meant to be, yeah.
The only thing is, I feel that my only flaw with that movie was that in the end, it was about a corporate takeover. I think if they made it like more of like a murder mystery and like uncovering like a crime, I think it would have been a better movie.
yeah, we got Knives
Yeah.
Out for that now.
Yeah,
Exactly.
true. Knives Out, yeah.
That was
Yeah.
another one that I wanted to put on the list because of the recency bias.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, it isn't
the
that good.
recency, that was like the thing. It was like it was fresh in our minds, but
Will it
us-
hold
I
up?
still
Best
love that
of the-
movie. But
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it was great, and it was like the reveal about
who done it?
exactly.
Who done it? And then,
That-
we know who done it. But wait, what?
But how?
Don't spoil it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's fresh and new. I don't want to
Yeah.
spoil anything.
So
no.
yeah, Inception. Good movie.
It was a very good movie. I mean, it's one of those movies too that you're going to remember because of the imagery. Like
Yeah.
that was the first movie that I think.
The city closing in on itself and
Yeah,
folding
like that's
over
that's
Doctor
where,
Strange
that's where
styles.
Yes.
Yeah, it was Doctor Strange before Doctor Strange. It's cool, man.
Yeah. He's Leonardo DiCaprio and he doesn't know magic. He just knows dreams.
Oh,
gonna
he's
make
the
us-
bad guy from Django.
Yes, he was the bad guy from
Can you imagine like this entire time, like they just walk through the Inception world for a moment. Leo just happens to be there for 5 seconds. They just look at each other and be like, "This is weird." And just goes back.
This is weird.
I was gonna make a portal and leave.
So my next one, I guess I'll just say the 3-way tie between Marvel movies because this is like one as a whole, I guess. It's Winter Soldier, Thor Ragnarok, and Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh my god,
that's a terrible 3 to pick. No.
Like I
Clearly,
didn't choose.
it should have been.
Those
Hulk,
are
so Thor
hard.
Dark World.
Yeah.
And
Thor Dark World.
I was actually just
why?
like, shit, I can't think of 3 bad ones.
Iron Man 2.
No, I like.
No, I
Iron
like
Man.
Iron Man too. 3 bad ones, yeah.
Like,
it would just be Thor Dark World 3 times.
Yeah, that.
To be entirely honest, Civil War was a little disappointing.
No, I still.
No, I
like
like
still
that
like
one.
Civil War.
I still like
the
it.
closest thing I guess I could give for that is Captain Marvel. And I still even like Captain Marvel.
Yeah, and one thing I
Captain
didn't like
Marvel
about
got better the second time I watched it. Though.
I just didn't like that it was like
There's a lot of choices.
they
that
tried
made
to
that were
fit
suspect.
her in. Like in the 90s, like, oh, she was always around. It's like, but like she wasn't always around, and then they're trying to connect
Well, there's
it.
like a urban legend that like they're like, why didn't Nick Fury why didn't he call her during Avengers? And like they're saying, how do you know he didn't?
Yeah.
So they're saying
did,
that
and she just didn't respond.
He was
It's like
summoning
she
her.
might have been like the literal other end of the universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and be like, and then he paged her and be like, crisis averted.
Yeah.
And it's like,
So which one did you pick then between the 3?
I don't know.
if you had
I
to
guess
pick-
my favorite is Winter Soldier. I'd have to say that still to this day is my favorite Marvel movie.
that I would say is when the MCU was like.
That's when you
yeah.
realize that the MCU is more than just a fan service.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It
it's
wasn't
like,
just a
okay,
cartoon
this
or
is
like a
fucking
comic book
awesome.
90s show. It
Yeah,
was
I mean-
like legit.
I mean, obviously we're gonna have some crossover here on this one. I think this was my number 3, so we're almost in about the same slot. But yeah, like that movie, in my opinion, is personally like the best, like overall done. It's not even the best MCU one on my list, but
Yeah.
to me it's like the best movie in the same vein of how I call Final Fantasy X my favorite.
Yeah.
But it's not the best one. I call 6 the best.
Yeah.
Winter Soldier's that for me. It's not my favorite, but it's easily the best crafted one.
Yeah. I love it's a thriller. It's got a bit of humor. It's action.
It was a legit like political thriller,
Yeah.
and also like a lot. I personally love the Captain America movies, and I love Cap as a character.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people didn't like Captain. He was too serious. He's too like goody. He's like
Like
but it's
that's Cap.
Yeah.
That's kind
And I
of
like
his
that
character.
But it's like
his superpowers are realistic in the sense that he just has extra strength and extra endurance than a normal person.
Which is the other reason why it's hard to have a Captain Marvel work, because Captain Marvel is literally like powerful than like 99%.
Yeah,
of
she's like
everything.
the Superman of the MCU,
Yeah.
right? So
And that's why you won't see Adam Warlock in MCU movies, because it's just like he wins.
yeah. And I had Thor Ragnarok and Guardians, just because they were super funny. Guardians was an unexpected, amazing.
Yeah, that's the thing. Ragnarok
Guardians.
is easily the funniest one.
Yeah.
Guardians is like the one that just came out of left field. You're like, I did not think that. Like,
Yeah,
you
I
said
didn't
that
even
being
know I
like-
wanted it.
You're like, I know it's going to be good. Like MCU
Yeah.
hasn't steered us wrong, but you didn't know anything about it, and I think that's what also helped, because you didn't
Yeah.
know what you were getting.
Yeah.
it was you were going in there with no expectations, and then in the end,
You just knew you were getting Vin Diesel saying one word constantly.
Yeah.
no,
Three words
in
constantly.
the
Sorry.
end,
I'm-
we are Groot.
Yes.
Yes. Sorry, 4 words, I guess then.
Yeah. So moving out of the MCU, though, I didn't
Oh.
have any more because I put them as like I was only going to pick one. Next, I had actually Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh,
Because
yes. Yeah.
that movie, it was like, that was just fan service
It was
for
just
me when I
amazing
was
because it's
watching
like,
it.
how
That
did they
was-
fit all that
Yeah.
in there?
Well, they were
Who
saying
did they
that
have to pay to
it
do
was-
all this?
with Wreck-It Ralph.
Capcom,
it was
Nintendo.
Yeah.
it was a game for gamers, made by gamers. So it wasn't
Yeah.
like
In a
studio interference. It was actually like a legit fan service, and
Yeah.
we're.
Yeah.
It was like the gaming characters weren't even distracting; they were just there.
Yeah.
But it was like, funny.
Yeah, and it was hilarious, but it also like obviously meant more to me because, well, all of us probably because of the gaming references and characters. Like, I mean, Sonic the fucking Hedgehog was in there.
Zangief had lines.
Zangief can speak.
Just because you're a bad guy doesn't mean you're a
Yeah, all the bad
guy.
guys were at like fucking AA for bad guys.
It was amazing.
And Bowser was there.
But
Bebop
also
and Rocksteady, I think, were both there.
The ghost from Pac-Man.
The
were there.
ghosts from Pac-Man, which are
The
useless.
villain twist I thought was really cool.
Yes. Yeah.
Where it's like it turned out like, oh, this makes more sense
What?
now.
Yeah.
Like the king and the
Oh, it was just being, yeah.
it turned out to be the other guy. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I loved it.
Also, the part in that movie that actually like made me like almost tear up in laughter was when they're mimicking the Wizard of Oz. Oh, and it's like, and it was just a bunch of Oreo saying Oreo,
Yeah.
Oreo.
I thought it was great.
I was
The movie's hilarious.
dying.
It's great for kids, but I mean, I went as an adult without kids with another adult, and like everybody who went and saw
Well,
it.
I imagine when Toy Story 4 came out, you still did the same thing.
I still haven't seen Toy Story 4.
Just make sure no one's cutting onions at the end of the movie.
Oh, I'm sure they will be.
Yeah.
Lots of
Well, I mean, yeah, you got to order all you can eat steak fajitas when you go there. So
oh, I want
Excuse me,
steak
they're called
fajitas
fajitas.
now.
They're called fajitas.
Chicken
yeah, I'll get
fajitas?
10,000 chicken vagitas. So that was your 3.
So that's my third. Next one is, I don't know if you guys saw it, The Imitation Game.
I've heard of it, but yeah, I didn't see it.
Who's in it again?
Benedict Cumberbatch. He's the guy in World War II that creates
Oh, that
the
was a
computer.
really good movie.
I loved that movie.
Well, you did like cryptology in school, did you not?
Yeah, cryptography and stuff. Yeah,
Yes.
so like that was just a really cool story. I love Benedict Cumberbatch. The guy's great. He names the computer Christopher.
Oh, so there's some bias in there. Okay.
It's fine. It's fine.
That's why you watched it in theaters.
Yes. Actually, I didn't know that part when I saw it in theaters. I think it was on a date.
Well,
I was.
the insane thing is like it's actually a very tragic story because
Yeah.
like what
Yeah.
this guy, from what they're saying, shortened World War II by 2 to 3 years.
Yeah. And he invented the Turing test because, I mean, he's whatever. I can't remember his first name, but he's Turing.
I think Alex Turing.
Yeah, Alex Turing? Yeah, I think it's that.
I think
yeah,
it's-
he invented the Turing test, which there's a game on Steam called the Turing test.
And
So,
like this
oh my
guy
God.
just like basically like saved how many countless people, and the way he was treated for being gay was
Yeah.
just like
It shows the difference in the times, 100%.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
it was just the ending was just soul crushing.
Yeah.
But like what this guy did was just
It changed the world. He invented the computer.
Christopher was the computer. Christopher was cerebral.
This is why I think the way I do.
So
no
you're
emotion,
so
all
you-
thoughts,
Feelings gone now, robot.
computations of life.
And what's your last one?
John Wick.
Ooh.
AKA,
Yeah.
you killed my dog.
The most realistic script I've ever seen for any kind of movie ever.
Yes.
If you ever want to get on somebody's side for killing a massive amount of people,
Yeah.
have one dog die and be like,
Yeah.
they all deserved it.
Not just
they
a
all
dog.
fucking deserved
The
it.
most adorable puppy possible.
Not just a dog, a puppy, and a puppy that was the last gift given to him by his dead wife.
No, you didn't have to go that far. Just dog
Oh,
dies.
no. It just makes it even more.
Guy
No,
kills
dog
dog.
murdered.
Guy kills dog. Fuck it, they all gotta
Oh,
die.
and the guy who kills the dog is fucking that guy from Game of Thrones.
Yes. Fucking
Theon
Theon Greyjoy.
Greyjoy, who
He-
I fucking hated until
he
like near
was-
the end of the series.
He was already a hated character in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, he
and-
redeems himself in the show, but still, at that point when that movie came out, everybody hated him, and the fact he was the Russian mob kid. Oh man! But I mean, that movie's just great. Not just that, like the scenes going into the clubs and stuff. It had a very like European feel to it,
Yeah.
which I've always loved.
And then like it's like John Wick is literally like, you can't fuck
Yeah.
with this
He does-
guy.
Yeah, they created like gun fu, where it's like he's doing kung fu but with a gun.
Yeah.
It's a phenomenal. Like all the scenes look great. Keanu
Would you
Reeves
say
did
that
all his own stuff.
He was breathtaking.
You're breathtaking.
So you know what it is, which I find with John Wick.
Also, I don't know where Prime has all 3 John Wicks.
I own
all three.
Yeah.
I know it had the second one, but I didn't know it had the
No,
third.
they got all. I just noticed earlier today. they had all 3.
This was one of those movie
They're
series
finally
that
getting good
I
movies.
bought them when they came out on iTunes.
'Cause
I needed them.
It took me a long time to watch the first John Wick because when I heard about the puppy and I googled the puppy on images and I was like, I can't see.
There
him die.
literally is a site called "Does the Dog Die?"
Yeah.
So it knows if there's a film you're looking at, you can actually look it up to see if the dog,
Yeah.
if there's a dead dog in that movie, just so you can avoid it.
Yeah, it's-
John Wick must have a giant warning on
It's
that
like,
site.
dude, no, it probably has a
doesn't
warning to be
just-
like, look, this is gonna happen, but it's fucking worth seeing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the thing goes with John Wick, it's like, this happens, but the revenge is sweeter.
Yeah.
And that's the thing; those are all fucking great movies.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn, like all the ones you said, except for the Imitation Game, which I had no idea what
Yeah,
it was.
yeah.
Oh, it's
But
a
like
great fucking
Inception, John Wick, I'm like, man, those are good fucking
Yeah.
movies.
And a lot of them, like,
Imitation Game might be on Prime, actually.
Maybe. I mean,
I've
Prime's finally starting to get better.
But,
at getting
it's
some
either on
decent
Prime
movies.
or Netflix. I saw
It's
it.
definitely on Netflix, but Imitation Game is a very dramatic, slow-paced movie, though.
That might
yeah.
not be my thing, but we'll
It's
see.
a World War II cracking the German code
Yeah.
kind of thing. But yeah, so that's my 5 movies. It's not like even necessarily the
Do
best
you
5
have,
movies
do
of
you
the
have
decade,
like
but
one of the decade that was really like your movie of the decade?
if I had to pick between
Like
those,
if you
I
could
don't
think of the
even
one that's
know.
going to define what the last 10 years have been for you. And it doesn't even have to be like what you think is the best overall film, just the one that means the most to you.
means the most, honestly, I would probably have to pick like Winter Soldier, but that's because of all those movies I saw. It's with you guys that I saw all the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
So when I look back, like the whole decade,
That's the
the
crazy
whole
thing, too.
decade was us
Was
going to
the
see the
MCU.
Marvel movies.
Come to think of it, is there any movie that we didn't see together?
I don't.
We
think
didn't
so.
see Winter Soldier together.
No.
No, we
No?
definitely saw. I
Okay,
definitely
well
saw
then-
Winter Soldier with people. There's no way I
It,
did.
it wasn't
Yeah.
us though. We haven't.
Huh.
We didn't meet then.
Yeah.
We met in 2015.
I don't know. When I look back on the decade, I see us and like our extended group as well seeing the
Well, that's
Marvel
true.
movies,
When
and
was-
that's all I remember
Do
seeing.
we
with,
remember
so I
the
don't
first film we all started seeing together? It
Oh
was
my god! If it's
I know-
Batman versus Superman, I'm gonna kill
no,
myself.
No, I'm talking MCU.
No.
It's definitely before Guardians. I know that much.
Yeah.
I honestly can't recall.
It might have been like I know
Guardians
Age of
2014.
Ultron we saw together, so it's around there.
I think it
Yeah.
may have been No, you weren't there for Age of Ultron. It was me and Chris and two of our friends. You weren't there for Age of Ultron.
Fuck.
It was the one after Age
It's
of Ultron.
weird because I look
believe.
back on the entire decade and I just
Like
see us
it
there.
feels like we have.
Yeah.
Because we've seen so many of
It
them.
may have
together.
been the one after Age of Ultron.
Well, let's see. MCU.
But you know
films.
what? I had you may be
I mean,
right
we
about
got time.
Batman
I mean,
versus Superman.
We're only 15 minutes into this. We
no.
might even finish the show in under an hour, so we got time to look this
Yeah.
shit
Yeah.
up.
So we can. You know what? Do you have any more you want to mention? Because if it's only
Yeah,
15
while I'm looking
minutes,
this
I
up,
only
see
have
if you can-
one other one there that I wrote down, but I don't even know if either of you have seen it.
Which
And
is?
it is. I saw it more recent. It was a movie Chef with Jon Favreau, where he's a
Robert
chef,
Downey Jr. too,
and
right?
Robert Downey Jr. and stuff.
Yeah,
and Scarlett
how was
Johansson.
that?
It is.
So okay, so you mean it was Iron Man 4?
Yeah, basically. Well, I mean, Jon Favreau
no way.
starred and directed in it, and he had all his friends, which is all the Marvel people.
Yeah.
And that movie, it's a good movie because it's all about food and being a chef and stuff and going to New Orleans. I went to New Orleans right after watching the movie,
Oh,
and I
okay.
went to the areas they went and tasted food. It was just like, I don't know.
Did
just,
it clog up your arteries? Because I hear
No,
Southern
they're-
food is quite
no, the
fattening.
food that they were having there wasn't. It was more like desserts, With, like
Oh.
sugary donuts.
Which has
icing
been
sugar.
my week. For the record, friends, who's ever listening to this, it's holiday season 2019 while we're recording this. During this week, we are borderline alcoholics, borderline diabetics, and borderline heart failure.
Yeah.
So I've got the list. Age of Ultron, you guys are right. We didn't see together. I didn't see Ant-Man in theaters. That was the one. That's
Chris
Me
the
and
and I
Vishal
saw
went
that.
just the two of
Yes.
us for that. I remember that.
I'm positive we saw Guardians together.
Maybe.
Because Guardians is before Ultron. I think Guardians might be the first one.
Guardians?
Because the one after Ant-Man is Civil War, and there's no way that's the first one.
Because I know
I saw
saw-
Civil War with you
I
guys.
know I've seen
Yeah,
Civil. I
yeah.
know I've
Civil
seen
War
a movie
definitely-
before Civil War.
I
With
know
you guys,
I-
so I think it might be Guardians.
I know I saw Guardians
you're right.
twice.
It's
I
not
s-
Winter Soldier, so we know it's not. So like the entire Phase 2 is Iron Man 3, Dark World, Winter Soldier, Guardians, Age of Ultron, Ant-Man.
I mean, it could
I'm
be-
positive it has to be Guardians then at that rate.
Maybe.
But I think he might be right that Batman vs Superman
It could
may
be.
have
It could have been
But, like,
Deadpool. It could have been.
We can guarantee that from Phase 3 on, we
Wait,
never missed a movie
when
together.
did Deadpool come out?
2016. So
That may have been the first-
No, because Deadpool was after Ant-Man and Ultron. I know I was hanging out with you guys when these movies
Yeah.
were coming out.
You didn't come with us to.
I know.
Ant-Man,
Now that
no.
you said Ultron, you're right. I didn't see Ultron with you guys because I think I missed that one.
But
Same
you didn't come to Ant-Man either.
Well,
though.
Ant-Man I didn't just because I think I was so busy that time that I just
I think a lot of people didn't want to see Ant-Man. They were like, "Oh, I don't know what."
Oh,
that
I
even
wanted
is.
to.
And then it's like, this is fucking incredible.
The problem was I was so busy in that time, and I think I might have missed that day. And then after that, I just couldn't get to a theater. I'm positive it's Guardians, but for sure
Oh,
we
you
have
and I-
definitely
you and I
we
watched,
have definitely
um,
seen every movie since Civil War together. I
Oh,
know
yeah.
that.
There's only one Ant-Man and the Wasp. I was in the Philippines, and
Yeah.
I went and I watched it
Yeah.
by myself
Yeah,
the same night you
But,
guys
there's
went
no,
and saw
there's
it.
no way we've missed a Phase 3 movie.
Well,
on
the
that.
thing
Well,
is-
actually, I went during the day because
It was-
12-hour
It
difference.
was
As I'm
hilarious.
looking at the
My
list, there's
sister
no
and my brother-in-law were watching Ant-Man and the Wasp on the Android box. So I'm like, okay, let me know what you think of the post-credit scene. Okay. 3 seconds later, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm like, yup. It's like, what happens? Like, yeah,
I
we
know.
don't know. We don't know.
All right, so that part's
Yeah.
over. So Vish, your list. We
Okay,
gotta
so
start.
fortunately now, since we're moving pretty quickly, I can.
You are not cheating the rules.
I'm going to cheat a little bit. But you know what? This one is kind of a write-off because you and I can talk about this one together, and I think you know which one this one is.
That would clearly be Suicide Squad.
Go on.
Batman versus Superman.
There's no way that's on your list.
The Emoji Movie.
No.
The emoji. Pixels.
Obviously, it's Scott Pilgrim.
Yes.
There it is.
Okay.
That's
I purposely left
So,
that off my
let's-
list because I know
let's
you
skip
guys
that
would have
because
it.
that's my number one. So you know,
That's-
let me have my
I
number
think
one.
I think that's like your number one movie of all time.
I purposely left it off my list because I knew you.
You know
guys
what?
were gonna do it.
I won't talk about Scott Pilgrim until you talk about it. Because for me, I
Yeah.
I
absolutely.
think you may be right. That might actually be my favorite movie ever.
Because for me, it's like
It might be the perfect movie.
But
anyways.
I'll talk about that later. So, first one on my list, and again, this one through somewhat chronological order. First one on my list is Toy Story 3.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Because
AKA cry my fucking childhood away.
Toys
no, that's
hands,
Toy Story 4.
Impending death.
Okay, cry part of my childhood away.
No,
Toy Story 4 takes the remaining childhood and gets...
No, Toy Story 4 takes your childhood, burns it in front of you.
Also in this decade, too.
So, Toy Story 4, like, this is the last line. Fucking Buzz says, he's gonna be okay, to infinity. And then it goes to Woody's like, and beyond. And it just fades away. It's like...
Well, geez, I haven't seen the movie, but I gotta figure what that means.
Yeah, it's like...
But anyways.
My soul just broke.
Toy Story 3.
And fucking... I don't know why the hell are people cutting onions.
Toy Story 3.
Toy Story 3. I've always been a huge Pixar fan. Ever since the first Toy Story.
Yeah,
like,
they're
I have
fantastic.
loved every Pixar movie.
They probably say Disney.
And unfortunately...
Yes, I'd agree.
Unfortunately, I find that since Steve Jobs died, Pixar's quality has gone down a little bit. I liked The Good Dinosaur, but it wasn't like...
Yeah.
And Inside Out was a good movie. I find that they're not doing enough as they used to. So, Toy Story 3, it was such a well-balanced movie. And then, like, I feel that was the true ending of the Toy Story saga. Because the ending was just such an emotional, like I remember I was 27, and this lady behind me was bawling her eyes out. And also the fucking fire incinerator scene.
Yeah.
It was like...
The toys were holding hands.
Yeah, I was like, please don't die. Please
And,
don't die. Please don't die. Please don't die. And then...
So this was the decade for Pixar. So it's just interesting. So thumbs up, thumbs down, if you haven't seen them. Toy Story 3, obviously thumbs up.
Yes.
Cars 2,
I've never seen it. And I refuse to watch Cars. I just can't watch Cars. I don't
Cars
like it.
2 is the Thor to the Dark World of Pixar.
Brave, super thumbs up.
Yeah,
I
love that.
haven't
Brave
seen it,
was
but I
great.
know that's a good one.
Brave's great.
Brave was really good. Monsters University, I've never been a
It's
Monsters
great.
guy.
That one's great.
No, it's great.
Yeah, that one's also great.
Inside Out, I liked, but
I really like that
I wasn't
too.
It
super
was-
over on, but I liked it.
it was-
I mean, I have a little bit of bias. Lewis Black was the angry guy, and that made me so
And
happy.
Amy
What I-
Poehler was the main girl.
Yeah, you know what it
And,
is? I
yeah.
think parents, all parents, new and old, need to watch Inside Out too, because you gotta.
It helps you understand the actual emotions in children.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
I can't believe how spot on they were
Yeah.
with that, like, the first emotions connect, like the
Yeah.
sad and happy at the same time. I was like, holy fuck, that's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good Dinosaur, I never saw. I didn't even know that was
it,
a movie.
I saw it.
It was good.
It was
but
a good movie.
It wasn't like typical Pixar quality.
This is where I basically haven't watched anything since Finding Dory.
I've seen that.
It's good.
It's good.
Cars 3, I don't think anybody saw
don't
it.
know.
I saw it. It's again Thor: The
Dark
Dark
World.
World.
Coco, I've heard good things about.
Coco was
I
great.
haven't seen it yet.
Coco was great. It was like a Day of the Dead thing.
Yeah,
where a kid.
it looks beautiful.
Yeah, because in the Day of the Dead, they believe dead can come back, and they can, but a kid actually goes back to the other side and goes to the dead world. And, like, the way they made it look, like the skeletons that glow in the dark, like stuff that you'd see Day in the Dead,
Yeah.
that's the entire movie.
That's amazing.
And it's
need
so cool looking.
I need to watch it because
It's on Netflix.
I feel like
and it'll be on Disney Plus.
I feel
when
like it's
not
a
on Netflix.
really good Pixar movie.
That one was one of the first ones I saw that was an original story where I was like, oh wow, Pixar's getting their stride again.
okay.
Incredibles 2 is after that. I refuse to watch it only because...
What's that?
Because that was one of those movies, it's like Kingdom Hearts but a film for me, but I wasn't so into Incredibles.
Oh, I
But I was like,
love
you know what?
Incredibles.
I've waited too long for that. I don't want to have my expectations.
that-
That's one where
that
I
was my
overhyped,
only
and I was
problem.
afraid that I was going to hate it, so I've told myself not to.
That was my only problem with Incredibles 2. It just took way too fucking long for it to come out.
Yeah. And then last was Toy Story 4. They got 2 movies coming out next year, but
There's
I've
this
never seen
okay.
either of them.
Apparently, the one that's with Chris Pratt and Star-Lord and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Apparently, like they're saying that one is going to be one of the best movies ever made.
Yeah, I've heard that like really
That
good
they're
things that
they're
talking
really pushing it hard on that one.
So that was our Pixar rant.
Yes.
about. Yeah, just a little one.
So
That's a lot for a decade. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
They did like one every other year or one every
Basically,
they
one
do
year.
one every year, which is fine. One a year is
year. No,
fine.
no, but I didn't think that they'd be able to do that.
so-
I mean, they're probably
here's-
also got several teams working on it too. So there's probably
Here-
like 3 teams running.
Here's one because so I feel Daniel Craig is the greatest James Bond.
Okay.
Skyfall.
Yeah, Skyfall was a really good James Bond
Because
movie.
it wasn't just... I didn't find it just a good James Bond movie. It was a good fucking movie.
Yeah.
I've struggled with the Daniel Craig movies. Like
Yeah.
even Skyfall, I wasn't
Well,
too
you prefer like
I
vintage
like
James
the
Bond.
cheesy stuff.
No,
that's
so do
my
I.
thing.
But I have to admit, though, even as like my favorite is like Roger Moore and Sean Connery. Like I'm old school James Bond, and I actually found Skyfall. They got some of that older stuff and actually brought it in. Like it felt connected to the older movies.
Well, because at the end it was like M was different. It was like
it was M's office from the old movies. Like they actually did,
and they brought
somehow.
the Ashton Martin. So
Yeah.
I thought like this wasn't just a good Bond movie. This was a good movie because
It's a good movie for the new fans, the old fans, and even
Javier
non-James Bond fans.
Bardem's villain was fucking creepy
Yes,
as
he
hell.
was a good bad guy. Adele's song for Skyfall was an actual James Bond traditional song.
Yeah, that was a traditional song.
Yeah.
My favorite one of the Bond themes, the one Chris Cornell did for Casino Royale.
Casino Royale, that
That
was
was
a good one.
actually
That
a
also
good
has a
song.
James-
yeah,
that
like
has- yeah.
between all the Craig movies, Casino Royale is my favorite because
Casino Royale is
I
definitely
love my Mads Mikkelsen.
that is
so.
the best
Yeah.
James Bond of the Daniel Craigs, 100%. That also felt connected. It actually felt like a prequel to the.
well, the thing is,
old
I'm
movies.
finding Daniel Craig is doing a pattern. Good, bad, good, bad. Because
Fuck, does that mean the new one's gonna be bad?
no,
No,
good.
no, Spectre was the last one.
Oh yeah, it wasn't as great.
So Casino
You can
Royale
tell I
was
forgot
fucking
about it.
awesome. Quantum of Solace
Quantum
was
of Solace was fucking trash.
That is the worst James Bond movie that's ever
that was
existed.
I would
didn't-
rather watch Die Another Day again.
Oh,
at least Die Another Day had a story you could follow.
No, I don't even care about
I
that.
don't even know.
At least it had
the
Halle
guy had
Berry.
diamonds in
Yeah.
his face.
At least it had Halle Berry.
This is true.
Skyfall, which is what I'm getting to,
Skyfall, good.
fucking incredible. Spectre,
Yeah.
I fell asleep.
Yeah, it was like it was just forgettable. Like it.
Which is such a shame because you figure Christoph fucking Waltz.
Yeah,
Yes.
and he's Blofeld, the main James Bond bad guy from all
The
the
fucking
movies.
kingpin of the
Yeah,
Bond
And you know
villains.
what? He
Fuck
did a
me.
fantastic job, but
He
you could tell
did.
the
He
script.
did.
The script was not.
They
good.
needed to make him
It was
more.
so-
He needed to be
And
there.
Batista, Dave Batista
yeah.
was the fuck. Oh,
He was Odd Job. I
Yeah.
know, random task.
no, he
Random
he was
Who
Jaws.
throws a shoe?
He was Jaws and Odd Job mixed together.
Yes.
Like, so, but Skyfall is just, and even I would say Daniel Craig, I feel, should have been nominated for something because the acting he did
Yes,
as
in
James Bond,
Knives Out.
yes.
and
A
it
James
was like
Bond
the-
movie will
If I,
never get
if I can
nominated.
believe that
If you
Daniel
can-
Craig is a fucking like Southern, you know what? I can. Heck, that guy deserves an award.
What is it with British people being able to do accents? They're so good at it.
I don't
The entire
know.
Walking Dead cast is British people. Like,
Yeah,
I don't get it.
Fucking Rick is like has the best British accent I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
So this Skyfall I just thought was like a very emotionally like charged James Bond film,
Yeah.
and if there's a movie where James Bond is crying, you know it was tragedy that
Yeah.
fucking happened.
Yeah.
Because he is like Daniel
Yeah.
Craig especially. What the James Bond he's doing is a stone cold-blooded killer.
Yeah, man,
When
they-
Judi Dench.
They blew up his Aston Martin.
Yeah, that's
I
all
know,
he was
man. Like fuck, I don't even know. And then like
His dog was in that car. Can you imagine? Can you, John? Oh my God, we need a
John
John,
Wick
Wick
and
James
James-
Bond crossover movie.
Oh, that'd be good.
please tell me Bond doesn't kill the dog.
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, each of them lose a dog, and they're like, we have to get together.
Okay, so John Wick had a beagle. So would James Bond have a British bulldog?
Sure,
Yeah, I guess.
whatever we need to do to make it work.
Oh,
Yeah.
please don't let him have a Yorkie that gets killed. Like, I don't want to see fucking Bowser getting
I don't
killed,
think
man.
James Bond's gonna have a Yorkie.
No,
I don't
doubt
see
it.
what he would have it for, unless it just lives at home, along with the urn of Judi Dench.
Well, I guess you reveal that's what.
For the record, friends, I have a Yorkie, and this is Chris's last show with us. So my next
That's
one,
not your decision.
my next one is Django Unchained.
Oh yeah.
Such a great movie.
If Inglourious Bastards was not 2009, it was 2010. That was
Yeah.
gonna hop on my list.
Yeah.
So Django, I'm not a big Tarantino fan, but Django didn't feel like a typical Tarantino movie.
That movie's amazing.
Leo, speaking of Leo DiCaprio doing great Southern accents.
Where is my sister?
That was a great movie.
It's
and
a-
again, Christoph Waltz.
Yes. And like it was
Jamie Foxx killed it.
I
too.
would say also that Django was a scripted documentary. A lot of people were offended by him using a certain
That's
word and
the
then moving
point.
over
Yeah,
and
that's the
over. But
point.
it's like, yeah, it was a lot worse than what you think it was.
Yeah.
It's like when the Jackie Robinson movie came out, and they were like, why do they use the M word so much? Because that's what he fucking had to go through.
Yeah, and it's like I'm sorry, you think you're offended by this?
It's like think about what he was.
You
He
showed
had 20,000 people screaming.
They showed probably 4 or 5 games in that movie.
Yeah.
That was every game for like basically his career.
Like
probably.
when they say that there's one part where Harrison Ford's character says Jackie wishes he wasn't leading the league in hit by pitches. He legitimately was leading the league in hit by pitches, and significantly.
Yeah.
So
the movie's meant to make you uncomfortable because racism isn't supposed to be comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and everybody who's offended, it's usually the white people. You're not the ones that are supposed to be offended by that word.
There was one movie,
Holy fuck.
the one that won Best Picture this past year, The Green Book, and I had a few friends who said, yeah, sometimes I watch movies like that and I feel ashamed to be white. I'm like, dude, it's...
Oh, I'm not going to get into that.
Dude, yeah, I'm like, dude, you didn't do it. It's not your
That's bar talk.
Yeah, that's bar talk.
But Django was just a really great movie, and the worst villain in it was fucking Samuel L. Jackson's character.
The most racist one, too.
You guys know about Leo DiCaprio with the scene where he...
he actually sliced his hand open.
Sliced his own hand? Oh,
you
don't know about
serious?
So
when he smashes the glass,
I know what.
He sliced his hand.
That was not part of the script. So when he actually puts his hand over that girl, she didn't fucking know.
Oh my god.
So her reaction is genuine.
I can imagine.
And that was the cut that made the movie.
So he didn't mean to cut his hand.
No.
Oh shit. I mean, that makes sense.
He didn't mean to hit the glass. He just meant to hit the table.
Oh.
And he hit. So he fucking cut it, and he noticed, and he's like, "I'm gonna
run with
it. This."
Yep.
Like, for all he knows, like, he would have apologized immediately if it was just a failed take, but he just, like, fuck it, I'm going with it.
He was already being Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where he was just...
That's how you know how good
working as an actor,
when he can
improvising.
hurt himself and think, I'm going to turn this into
I don't need to go to the hospital. I'm going to put this blood on this person's face.
That man is a fucking talented actor.
I used to hate him back in the mid-90s with, like,
Titanic.
Titanic.
It took him till... What was the fucking movie where he got mauled by the bear?
No, it was
before that.
No. But what was that movie?
The Reverend.
That was the first one he won Best Actor.
No, but
how the hell
did
that
an insult?
No, what changed?
Departed.
He wasn't nominated for Departed though.
No, that's what we're saying.
He should have been.
But what changed his career was that Catch Me If You Can.
No,
Steven
Spielberg what I mean
changed
is, like,
his career.
the fact that it took him until that fucking movie to get
maybe even
a win.
Shutter Island, like where he went like
the amount of
very
Shutter
different.
Island too.
Yeah,
so many good movies.
Yeah, that guy puts out like he's one of my
of
favorite
course,
actors.
They're not gonna give him Best Actor for fucking playing a racist.
Which I mean,
there was actually one movie with Harry Potter, Daniel Radcliffe.
Yep.
It's called Imperium, where he plays an undercover FBI agent who's infiltrating white supremacists.
Have you seen that new show that's being advertised where it's like a comedy of a medieval time and he's like supposed to be like the king?
Really?
Radcliffe?
No, where is it on?
I can't think of the title, but I'll show it to you guys when we go to the bar. But that looks fucking funny.
I honestly like. It's like, what the fuck? Harry Potter can act? Like, it wasn't like you didn't see him as like Harry Potter. Like, you saw him as Daniel Radcliffe playing it was uncomfortable to watch because he had to be a despicable.
It's called
human
Miracle
being.
Workers.
Oh,
it's on Amazon. You said
it's. I think it might be Netflix.
If it's Hulu, I'm gonna be fucking pissed.
Does Hulu have originals?
Yeah, it does. The Handmaid's Tale is a Hulu original.
Really?
Yeah.
The fuck? And it's filmed in Canada, and they don't even have it here.
It's filmed in Hamilton, here.
And they don't have it available to us to see. I don't actually want to watch
Here's one that Adam had to cut out, and Chris didn't.
It's just on television. The show.
Oh, okay.
And
it
this
just started.
Is like Dark Knight quality of superhero movies.
Okay.
Number 2, I would say, quality wise, Logan.
Logan, yeah.
God.
I saw Logan, and I'm like, I don't know if I should put it in because I know one of you is going to mention it. To not put that on my
list was so fucking painful.
I just knew one of you
could
guys
add it to your list now, man.
No, not with the list that I got. I'm happy with the list.
Logan was just, it was criminal that Hugh Jackman didn't get nominated, or at least Patrick Stewart.
Well, they would never give a fucking superhero movie. Like
Logan?
Like, here's the thing.
But it wasn't a superhero movie.
Heath Ledger is an anomaly when it comes to these kind of films getting that treatment.
Well, the thing is
he died.
I honestly don't think it's because he died. It may have impacted a little bit, but
I'm not saying he didn't deserve
what?
it. I'm saying
You know
the
what?
Oscar stupid people
I
were willing to look at it.
This is
here's how I
another
look
bar
at it.
talk because about these old fucks in the fucking
Well,
academy.
here's how I look at it. Just as a quick aside, I think he could have still got the nomination had he been alive, but he doesn't win if he's alive.
Yeah.
Because he was
In
old,
my opinion,
because
I
he's
think
old-
Because it was
because-
a superhero movie.
No, because these old fucks in the academy still.
Yeah.
no, he got awards from doing Brokeback Mountain. I'm talking like because of that movie, he wouldn't have got it, but because he died, it gave them extra credence to give him that award.
I don't know.
I think he could have justified the nomination, but I don't think he wins Best Actor or Best Supporting Actor.
The next option
know.
was apparently Josh Brolin for Milk.
But again, like this,
I didn't see Milk.
But what I'm talking
It's
is like
it's a pretty sad movie.
they would never give that the credence, but because it was posthumous, like they gave them the reason. But anyways,
Logan.
Logan, I
Fantastic.
should have been nominated for Best Picture also, in my opinion.
They made it a Western or something.
Yeah,
Like,
it wasn't. It didn't feel like a superhero movie.
Not at all. Besides
did-
his claws, nothing superhero
And the
about it.
girl was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like, she has a bright future ahead of her in acting and like.
Just not in the X-Men franchise because now Disney
No,
has it.
honestly, I think they should bring.
They could bring her in.
Like maybe when she's a little older, when she's like 16 or 20.
Well, by the time they make it, she probably will be.
Yeah. So I think they could bring her back
Yeah.
and like just reboot it. Be like,
well, I think that was the point of New Mutants. I think she was supposed to be back for that.
Oh, is she supposed to be in that movie?
I think that was the idea, is they were going to carry her over with all those kids that you see at the end.
Oh.
yeah, but if New Mutants gets made, like
I mean, it won't be good. I still haven't seen Dark Phoenix, and I don't want to.
I saw half of Dark Phoenix when I was going to Cuba. No, on the way back from Cuba. I got halfway, and I was like, oh, the plane's landing. I'm like, I don't give a fuck to ever try and finish this movie.
Fuck
this
the
shit.
train battle is cool.
I didn't even get there.
The rest of the movie makes Dark World look like a masterpiece.
I mean, it does make
Yeah.
Dark World look better.
Seeing a visceral X-Men movie, and then also seeing like Patrick Stewart swearing up a storm.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
And honestly,
Yeah.
like a movie that you thought would have been this, like, because you're thinking Wolverine.
The other
you're thinking
two
action
Wolverine
movie. You
movies
weren't
were
thinking about a
terrible.
movie that goes really deep with dementia.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, the other two
Especially
Wolverine,
with someone with mind power.
the Wolverine and like Wolverine X-Men Origins, they weren't good movies.
No, they were.
Oh, God, yeah. Oh, yeah, all the other
we'll
standalones were bad.
get to Deadpool soon.
Deadpool's different.
That's
though.
definitely on some
But it was. I just thought Logan was just like again Dark Knight quality
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I think
Absolutely.
because it was so grounded and so like real.
Yeah.
For sure.
And also, at the end, it's like, no. You're still Wolverine. You're still Wolverine. You please tell me Wolverine. And it was literally an end of an era and done so fucking amazingly that Dark Phoenix just fucking pissed all over it.
So I think you got one more left.
Okay.
Yeah, number one.
Special mention, Man of Steel.
Okay.
And when special mention, since we had Star Wars this decade, Star Wars this decade, Rogue One. Yes. And also
Stop breaking the rules. Get on with
I
it.
am gonna be breaking rules. I do that. So
Why do we let him back?
I don't know. Well, it's his house.
That's true.
does he
so
let us back?
I was able to choose one MCU movie, and it was between this and Winter Soldier, Infinity Wars, because when we saw this movie, I left the movie like literally stunned, because it was like, how are they going to fix this?
Yeah.
How are they going to
Time travel.
Yeah, that we didn't know that was happening.
Times.
Like there was rumors about try and travel, but it was like, are they really going to go down that path?
Yeah.
But when it happened, it's like, how are they going to fix it? And also, there was something happening every 5 minutes of this movie. Like the movie
It was
starts off.
nonstop. Yeah, it was very quick.
The movie started off with Loki dying.
But way better pace than the newest Star Wars.
No. No, but the movie started with Loki dying.
Yeah.
Then with like Bruce Banner going to New York. Then Doctor Strange plotting. Like there was something happening every 5
And there
minutes.
was like 3 stories happening because there was 3 groups of people
Yes.
dealing with different shit.
And then like the only
Thanos making his way from one story to the next.
like for me it was just like this is what the problem with the DC universe is compared to the Marvel universe. We had all these years, over a decade of movies to get attached and build these characters into our lives.
Yeah.
That when they showed that they were like essentially dead, we had our fucking hearts ripped out of our
Yeah.
chest. It was like the ending of Toy Story 3, the incinerator scene.
Yeah. And Kevin Feige is fucking awesome because that guy actually made it where all these movies actually feel connected. It seems like they actually planned what the story is going to be and where it's going to go instead of just letting every movie be its own disjointed shit.
With the MCU, you have one guy looking after it.
Yeah.
With the DC fucking universe, you had like idiots. And even with the Fox, there was so much interference, especially with Fantastic Four, which should have been good.
Like, holy fuck.
So okay, we're gonna finally get all that shit fixed.
Yeah.
That better go under
So
Feige.
honestly, I
will.
don't care about the Fantastic. I just want Doctor Doom.
I do.
all
I
I
think the Fantastic Four will work because they'll just be another group
Well,
of
because
four
we can
people
actually
and already
trust them
think.
now.
Yeah.
That's the
Yes,
thing, we
and
can
we
trust
have
them to
we'll
take care
have
of
John
it.
Krasinski and Emily Blunt being Mr. and Mrs. Fantastic.
They would be perfect.
They actually would.
They would be perfect. Yeah.
And apparently Zac Efron, they're trying to get him to be Human Torch, which actually would be perfect too.
I mean,
Actually, yeah.
It doesn't sound like it should, but it's the same thing like when we first heard Pattinson being Batman. I'm like, it sounds like it should never work, but it somehow
might.
probably will.
I mean,
The thing
it
is,
might.
there's this movie Pattinson was in this year called The Lighthouse, and he essentially they're saying that like he's getting nominated.
Oh.
And for the record, friends, the Leafs just won the hockey game.
That was a sick move too.
Yeah.
So you're watching hockey in the background. I'm like, shit, this is a bad time. It's overtime. So.
So, for me, there was a few movies I wanted to choose from the MCU, like Guardians and Winter Soldier. And
Yeah.
If we even making a top 5 of MCU movies from this decade would have been a pain in the ass.
I honestly think our lists would have been pretty similar. I think you would have chosen Endgame as your number one.
No, my number 1 is on this list.
Okay.
I think it's safe to say that this decade is the decade of Marvel movies. Like,
Yeah.
it's the entire decade.
It was the
They
decade
were
of
trying
nerd
to do
culture.
it.
Nerd
Yeah.
culture became a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, Kevin Feige was a guy who realized, oh, these nerdy kids in the 90s and 80s, they're adults now and they have some disposable income. Let's exploit them for every fucking thing possible.
And when you think
We're like, okay.
when you think about it, the decade started with Iron Man 2. That was 2010.
Well, actually,
So every movie since then is this decade. There's only 2 Marvel movies.
I was talking
not.
to one guy, and he made a valid point. What is the first MCU movie?
I would say probably Iron Man 2.
No, it was Hulk.
Well, yeah, if you want to be
yeah.
technical,
Because
yes.
Iron Man could have, without the post-credit scene, was like its own movie. It could have been done, and that's
truly,
it.
you would call it Iron Man 2 because that's when they finally started like pushing it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
No,
it
but
felt, yeah.
With Iron Man, with Hulk.
Wait,
though,
was it? What was the first one where they actually mentioned the Avengers Initiative?
It
Iron Man
was
2.
Iron
Was
Man.
Iron Man
No,
2?
it was
Okay.
Iron Man.
Oh,
in
yeah,
the
Iron Man 1 in
But-
the post-credits.
No.
That's what. Okay, so
No, but
technically
in-
Iron Man started.
Yeah, Iron Man 1 was the start of the MCU.
but that's post-credit. With Hulk, though, it was within the actual movie
But
where
that's-
Robert
but here's
Downey
the thing.
Jr. was in it.
Yeah, and it
yeah,
showed
but
Stark
at the same
Enterprise.
time, it's like that same Bruce Banner isn't there, and we really didn't connect
Yeah, I
those
know.
dots yet.
Yeah.
So realistically, we knew that the MCU was going to be a thing when the Avengers Initiative
Iron
was
Man, I would
announced.
say, when it was full out established, yes, I would say Iron Man 2.
That's when they were pushing it.
That's when you start being like, oh shit, it's going to happen.
Like, even the extras on the Iron Man 2
remember-
DVD were them talking about the events of Hulk, and like they had
Yeah.
Blonsky in jail. And I mean, Thunderbolt Ross is now working in the government in all the Avengers movies.
Well,
he
with,
made it into the MCU.
Yeah, that was...
He actually did bring...
I remember when I was in high school, I was on either IGN or superherohype.com. They were talking about the Avengers. It was like, yeah, don't expect to be made for a while. For the record, friends, this is around 2001.
Yeah.
And Avengers came out 2011 or 12?
I think.
Okay.
12.
So, in 2001, and I'm so glad it wasn't made then because it would have been fucking
Well, yeah,
garbage.
because we see what superhero movies still were then.
No, it's not just that. The technology just wasn't there. So,
Well, no, but they probably could have pulled it off. If they had the same team of writers in 2001, they could have made it work.
Yep,
Because
no,
the
but if
story
you-
is what's important.
no, but if you watch, the effects matter.
I understand that, but are we really going to remember the MCU movies for the effects, or are we going to remember them for the story?
Because, like, think X-Men
Yeah, I
2.
know.
That's like 2002 or something.
And
like
it's
But
still a
there
good
wasn't
movie.
there wasn't a lot of CGI in X-Men.
Yeah,
2,
yeah,
though.
and that's the thing.
But
Like, that's why
they
it works.
could have made it work. It's just the problem is you probably could have like not had Captain Marvel and stuff like that. But you
Yeah,
could-
yeah. You would have had...
You can make a battle up against Thanos work because it's
Yeah.
not like there's
Have you-
crazy
yeah, but
supernatural
I don't.
shit.
They would have had Iron Man like a foam costume, which would have been
No,
horrendous.
they
No,
wouldn't
because,
have.
like,
Shut the fuck
Iron
up.
Man's costume costume, like in a lot of the scenes, isn't just CGI. Like a lot of the scenes, it is Robert Downey Jr.
Practical. And we've been to Fan Expo and we've seen guys having like practical Iron Man costumes, which are fucking incredible.
You can have the practical effects. It would be the CGI that would be but I mean, CGI back then, like if you take like the Lord of the Rings and stuff, and they show some CGI,
you show it now. I was actually going to get to Lord of the Rings, where it was actually very. It looks painfully dated now.
But we're not going to get Lord of the Rings because
it was
it's my
in a different
turn.
decade.
Yeah, and that's a different decade.
Go on.
Unless you do The Hobbit, which please don't. Those were bad.
I'm not a Lord of the Rings guy, so I couldn't give you that. First one. This is in order from best or from worst to best. Although number 5 being the worst is like saying
it's the worst best movie.
Oh, yeah. I know. Madden 2015.
That's a video game, dumbass. Star Trek Beyond.
Great movie.
The
Great
whole
movie.
the trilogy is really good.
It's been very weird for me because, and I've said this before, I'm sure on the show even too. I was a Star Wars kid growing up, and I am now a Star Trek guy when it comes to the new stuff.
Yeah.
I hate the new movies. I love the new Star Trek movies, and I can't wait for Picard.
Yeah,
the
Picard
show to start
looks
up.
so
good.
good.
I haven't seen the trailer for it. It does look.
It's a show where they brought him back. It
It's
looks so good.
and it does, and like and even Patrick Stewart said he wasn't going to sign up for this. It was just Next Generation 2.
Yeah.
No, it's its own thing now.
Yeah.
Which is great.
So do you have to watch the
Probably,
Next
well,
Generation
to understand
at all?
some
You
of the
have
names,
to
sure.
to know a lot of this stuff. You have to see the movies and Next Generation.
But
for fuck's
I don't know.
sake.
I don't know any of it, and
I don't have
I'm
3
so
months to
curious.
catch up.
Yeah, you got like 4 movies you got to watch in 6 seasons.
But yeah, I've really enjoyed the new stuff. Now, between the 3 of them, it's easily Beyond, and
Is Beyond the third one?
Yes,
Oh,
Beyond's
that's
the
best
most
one.
recent,
Yeah, that's the best one.
and it's because, quite frankly, it's its own story. The
That's
problem,
when-
like
yes.
the 2 first ones are still good, like. The Star Trek and Star Trek Into Darkness are still good movies. Like Benedict Cumberbatch's Khan was good.
Yeah.
The problem is they were already retellings.
Well,
So it wasn't
number
nearly as
2 was
interesting.
kind of like I was talking to like old school Star Trek fans. Number 2 was almost a rehash of
It really
Wrath
was.
of Khan.
It
Like
was,
if you
they
were
just
if you were an
switched
old Star
little
Trek
bits.
fan, you would have loved that movie.
Yeah.
With
it was the same
number
movie.
3, it felt like it was actually Star Trek.
It felt like almost like it was Fast and the Furious level Star Trek. Like
Yeah.
it was fun.
Yeah.
Like you had Jayla, who I fucking
Oh
adore.
yeah, she was awesome.
Which
And
one's
here's-
that?
That's the alien girl, the white haired.
White hair, blue.
Sophia
face.
Botella?
I don't fucking know the name of the girl. I
Maybe.
only care about the character.
I'm assuming.
I think it was.
I'm sorry that I don't memorize the name of the actress of every fucking character.
She's in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way,
That means nothing to me.
Kingsman was also a good movie of the
You
decade.
saying that she's in a lot of things, I usually be like, I probably know 2% of those things.
She was a sworded-legged chick in Kingsman.
Okay. That's probably all I know from.
Oh, you know what? No, it was her.
But no, I'm saying like that's probably the only show I know her from.
Yeah.
But no, the fact that they had her and here she is sitting on a boombox listening to Beastie Boys.
Yes. Beastie Boys was in
Or
every
I think
one of the
NWA
movies, right?
was in there. I think Fight the Power was in there at one point.
I know Sabotage was in
Yeah,
number
Sabotage
Oh
one.
yeah,
is the song.
Sabotage. Sabotage is when they literally sabotage the guy's. fucking
Sabotage is in,
shit.
I think, all 3 movies, or the first and the third.
Sabotage was definitely the first one. I
Yeah,
know
and it
that.
was in the third one.
Also-
in Beyond.
Shohreh, who plays Krishna Avasarala
Yeah.
in
The
The
Expanse.
Expanse, she's in Star Trek Beyond, and
Yeah.
I never noticed,
Yeah. Yeah.
which fucking pissed me off.
It's a crossover.
But that's what's great. But the movie is great because it finally has fun with it, and it's its own thing.
can
You don't
do
know
its
what
own
the fuck's going on.
And
Yeah.
They
it
tried things
felt-
new. They had the fucking motorcycle segment, which was fucking cool.
That was cool. Teleporting.
Well, I was
motorcycle.
a lot of people who aren't familiar with either of them asked me what's the difference between Star Trek and Star Wars. I tell them Star Wars is one story, and it's like a whole
not even like,
conglomeration.
I even go beyond.
where Star Trek is a team going on missions, and each mission is their own story.
I'd even go further than that. Star Wars is more about the epic battles. Star Trek is about the actual like communication and the exploration.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
That's why I think I like Star Trek now, is because Star Wars just being like, every trailer, it's like, look at all this fucking crazy shit going on. It's like, yeah, that's every fucking movie trailer. Star Trek's like, look at this cool people. Look at this like interesting like dialogue.
a lot more
going on.
variety
I'm
and
like, that's
versatility.
more refreshing now.
Bill Nye said it best. Star Wars is a space drama where people know magic. Star Trek is actual science.
Yes.
That's what Bill Nye.
I think that's also why
science
The
guy said.
Expanse has gotten over so well with like, especially even NASA scientists and stuff,
Yeah.
because it's so accurate.
They've kept it in the actual, yeah, and I love Beyond, yeah, because it actually felt like Star Trek shows, each episode, maybe there was an overall story, but each episode could do whatever it wanted.
Exactly.
It's a new mission, and it was finally where they are. Each movie is just its own episode.
Yeah,
That's the same characters.
That's
if
what
somebody
I-
Beyond was
dies,
basically like a 3-arc episode of Star Trek.
yeah, which was amazing. That's why
Or
that one is
3-episode arc of Star
beyond my favorite. Like that's my favorite one.
Yeah.
And also, they destroyed the Enterprise.
Did they?
That's ballsy.
I can't remember. I gotta
Yeah,
rewatch
like
this
the
one.
bad guys destroyed the Enterprise. Idris Elba's character.
Oh yes.
And also, Idris Elba's just fucking
Oh, yeah,
awesome.
I forgot he was in it. Oh, I gotta rewatch this. So good.
Yeah, we should. I can't believe it took us this long to get to this point, but Deadpool.
Yeah, I purposely left Deadpool. I kept things off that I knew you guys.
I
were
knew
not.
you would choose Deadpool. I absolutely love Deadpool, but oddly enough,
Why is there a button here unless it's
it
literally
wasn't-
Deadpool's butt?
it wasn't one of my favorites of the decade.
That is a
No?
fucking shame.
Oh, no,
I would
it's
say
definitely
if I
one
had
of
to
mine.
choose a top 10, it would probably be there, but it wasn't in the top 5.
That's because you like garbage. No, I'm just kidding.
It's definitely my.
Did
top
I say Batman vs Superman is one of my top 5?
I said garbage, not human excrement.
feces.
Shit is quicker than saying excrement.
But it doesn't send the message.
No,
nearly as
yeah,
clearly.
you need to scientifically.
If I
get
put
there.
work and effort into syllables, you know I fucking mean it.
Dun, dun, dun.
Deadpool, honestly, to me, is a game changer in films.
Yeah.
To me. Because it made companies realize that, I guess, not X-rated,
R-rated movies
but R-rated stuff can make you a shit ton of money.
yeah,
And Logan just basically, like, proved, like, was
And
like second
Joker
proof.
topped it off.
Yeah.
that was the 3.
So if you ever want to talk about 3 movies that have defined comic book movies for us, it's honestly those 3.
Yeah.
Like, sure, we can talk about Winter Soldier and all the Avengers movies and Captain America and all those, but those 3 in particular made it seem like it doesn't have to just be for kids.
Yeah.
It's the same with video
That's-
games. Like, we used to think that video games back in the day, like, it's just Super Mario and Sonic.
Yeah.
Now we have Call of Duty and God of War and all
Madden.
these things now.
Yeah.
Fucking stop. He's
You-
not even
You
here.
should have seen that
He's
one
not
coming.
even here.
You should have seen that one coming.
No, I shouldn't have to because he's not
You
here.
kept talking about like this and this and this. I'm like, I have to say it somewhere.
God damn. You know,
Madden.
he should sue you for copyright infringement. You know that, right?
But then wouldn't
Until
Madden just
the-
sue all of us?
Until the trademark's there.
It's Adam
Fuck it.
Trump's gimmick. Stop taking it from him.
He's not here. It's just for him.
Your gimmick is just being an asshole. Like, stick
That
to
is
that.
true.
Bingo card.
Chris's gimmick is doing nothing and then me giving him shit for it.
What did I do?
And then mine is just being a trash Canadian weeb. That's my thing.
Trash Canadian weeb.
Fucking right I am.
Madden.
But yeah, no, Deadpool just because... like, we went in thinking, oh my god, this is going to be so funny, and it far exceeded any
And
expectations.
frankly, Ryan Reynolds did a really good acting job.
Well, it proved to us, even before Detective Pikachu, which is also an honorable mention if we want to go that route, is like,
Yeah.
it proved to us that there are guys out there that can be nerdy and actually fucking give a shit about the material.
Yes, 100%.
Because if it wasn't for him, Deadpool doesn't happen.
no,
He is Deadpool.
Yeah. He's
No,
Deadpool.
like
but
literally,
he got the
he's
movie
the reason
going.
that it got
Yeah,
going.
yeah,
again.
he leaked.
He
the,
wanted
footage.
to right that wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was...
He also really needed a superhero movie after Green Lantern that showed like, hey, I can do this stuff actually.
Well, the best was like, he was saying that
and then
there's
he kills himself off in Deadpool too.
Ryan Reynolds
there's
kills
apparently there's enough material to make an R-rated Detective Pikachu, and
We
that
need
would
to
be
see that.
the
Yeah, we need to
greatest
see that.
fucking movie.
I would love that.
ever.
But that was the thing. Like, that movie just far exceeded my expectations. And there's like nobody else in the movie, really, when you think about it. There's not like any other major characters in that film.
that
just-
was great.
It's just Colossus and Teenage Nega Warhead.
Yeah.
Negasonic
Teenage Warhead, sorry.
Teenage
But either
Warhead.
way, the best name ever.
And then
And
there's Yukio
then,
in the second movie. And I'm like,
what's
hi,
it-
Yukio.
And what's it called? Gina Carano's character as well. But it was mainly Deadpool.
But
Yeah.
no, what in terms of like big names, it's basically Deadpool and
didn't-
Colossus.
He
I
didn't
guess.
need.
Yeah.
He didn't have to
A
have.
CGI character. As
He didn't have
And
to-
then in
in the
Deadpool
credits.
2, there's like the entire cast of Days of Future Past just
Yeah,
in it for
and
5
they just
seconds.
slow-
he didn't
slowly
need
close
to have
the door.
Wolverine there or anybody.
No.
And actually, they were like, because
I would love
for
that
example,
Wouldn't it have been funny though if they did the same thing like with Days of Future Past, where they go up to him and be like, "Hey, we need you to fuck off."
so there was
Or
what
was
the,
it Days of Future Past, or was it the original?
movie, though. It was Days of Future
Yeah,
Past.
okay.
yeah.
Fuck 'em.
So with for Joker, for example, going a little off topic, with like, you know how like back in the '60s show with Burt Ward, Adam West, and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
So like they're like how they made Joker very campy and everything, and like very like silly, clown like. That's how the comics were. It wasn't until the '80s that they realized, oh wait, these kids who read comics, they grew up. It wasn't until then that they actually made Joker into like a psychopathic serial killer. But now they have to realize those kids that watch comics and like read comics, love these superheroes. We're adults now.
But
like,
not to mention that you can have both.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That was the beauty, is we now got both. You have the MCU, which is for which kids can get into, but you also have your Deadpools, your Logans, your Jokers, where our level of maturity can go in there and also handle that.
Speaking of which, did you guys see in the news today that Ryan Reynolds confirmed Deadpool 3 is being made at Disney?
That's not surprising.
He posted a bunch of stuff that it's like they're doing it
right
now.
on for a while.
Disney likes money. Of course they do it.
But it's like in the MCU.
Oh, funny story. Do you remember, because I just thought of Joker, you know how everybody was talking about how Joker was going to create all this violence?
Yeah.
You know that there was a massive like stabbing murder in theaters because of Frozen?
What?
So there was like a massive like a stabbing incident, or it was during
I'm
Frozen
Elsa.
2. Of all things, Frozen 2. They thought Joker was going to create all, like they were sure somebody was going to get shot up in a Joker movie. Never happened.
No.
Frozen 2
stabs.
So there was
this was in the United States.
There was a joke with Peter Dinklage's character from Infinity Wars saying, "Yes, that's what dying means." And someone's like, "Joker is violent. There's a lot of swearing and is extremely offensive." Yes, that's what rated R means.
Yeah. Anyways, moving on, because it's almost 10 o'clock and we want to go do some bar stuff. I'm going to quickly rush through these three. Obviously, Winter Soldier, like I said earlier, was number 3.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely, like, again, the best MCU movie in my opinion, just not my favorite. So moving on from there.
Actually,
what is your favorite?
Okay.
What do you? So I'll let you guys get one guess. What do you think my favorite one is? And this is, again, favorite, not best. This is my personal.
Guardians 2 or Endgame?
What's that?
Guardians 2 or Endgame?
No, it's neither. It's the first Avengers.
Oh.
What?
It's the only MCU movie that I went out of my way to watch twice the same day.
Same day?
Same day.
I saw Deadpool 3 times.
I saw all the Avengers twice, but not in the same day.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing.
Because and again, like we talk about how Deadpool and what those three, like Deadpool, Logan, and Joker, what they've meant.
Yeah.
Avengers, quite honestly, was to me the physical proof that we could have this and it could work.
A universe.
Because everybody thought that movie would be complicated.
Yeah.
And when you watch that movie,
not.
And then we go all the way to Endgame and we go, we've seen them fucking do this before.
Yeah, and because the other MCU movies before that, yes, they referenced each other, but it was like they exist in the same universe, but it's not like they're.
But you thought, how are you going to have all these stars on the same picture? And then you realize, oh, it's not that hard.
And then Avengers literally brought them in the universe.
And it's not just that. Even in their solo movies nowadays, they'll have the other characters there.
Well, yeah, I mean, in certain aspects, some will have less, some will have more.
Yeah. Besides Doctor Strange and Captain Marvel. More so Doctor Strange.
Well, Doctor Strange is going to have... Oh, no, that's...
Well, yeah, we're going to see that.
No, but I mean Doctor Strange 1. Like, there was nobody else there. And Captain Marvel...
Which makes sense, because for an origin story, you kind of want that.
Yeah.
You don't need to do that with Spider-Man or any of these others because they already
Ant-Man.
fucking have
Well, the thing is, characters like Black Panther, Doctor Strange, and Captain Marvel weren't really established in
that's
general.
the thing. You need to introduce them to audience. Same with Guardians of the Galaxy. You had to
just like Iron Man 1 had no one, Thor 1 had no one, Captain America 1 had no one.
And that's the point.
Yeah.
But, like, Avengers, to me, like... all these iconic moments, obviously them all squaring off. You had Loki getting just his shit pushed in by Hulk. You had
God.
You had the awesome fight scene between Cap and Thor at the beginning of the movie. Like, you had all these elements together. And
my favorite part of that movie was like, that's my secret, Cap. I'm always angry. And then Hulk transforms and it just fucking knocks that thing out.
It just goes nuts.
I was like, yes.
And the fact that you even get more of it in Endgame because you get the little bit of time travel in there.
Yeah.
But like the idea of that movie existing, because honestly that's the last bastion of me having pure hype into a movie. Because now I've been able to kind of set myself back now, because obviously in maturing you kind of get a little bit better at just kind of chilling yourself out.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the last movie that I was like, ah!
Yeah.
And it didn't disappoint. By no means. Again, it's not the best one they've ever done, but it's easily the one that means the most to me because it showed me that this was the change.
Yeah.
This was the paradigm shift for films.
Yeah.
At least for nerds. This was the shift.
Yeah, especially.
This was the point that you knew that we were going to be the market. We were not going to be the outlier. We were going to be the mainstream.
It's not cinema.
Martin Scorsese, what are you doing here?
No.
I heard a story. I don't know if this is true or not, but
that his daughter gave him a gift wrapped in Marvel wrapping. That's true.
That's amazing.
She Snapchatted it.
Wow.
That is fucking
that is
gangster.
That's some ballsy shit.
Yeah. That's funny.
A movie I just I know it's not nothing to do with the decade. I watched The Godfather 2 the other night.
What a
And
fucking masterpiece.
oh
I
my
still haven't seen it.
god! How have I not watched that movie before?
What did you watch it on?
On Amazon Prime, dude.
It's on Prime,
If
okay.
you take a dictionary, the word masterpiece, the poster is beside it.
I've thought about it. I floated the idea too. There should, if we ever have like a chance to do something, we should have like an actual like, what I don't know what they call it, like a watch along.
Okay.
Like
Yeah,
we
where
record
you-
while we're watching a movie.
Yeah. I would do that.
Godfather 2 was just
That'd be cool
Like-
because you've seen it. You've just recently seen it, and I've never seen it.
dude,
so it'd be
Well, I
cool
haven't
to-
seen it in such a long time.
Yeah,
But I
so
mean,
that'd be
like
cool.
even watching movies that we've seen like recently, like you said, Star Trek Beyond, or
Yeah,
going
I-
back and watching like Deadpool and stuff, like just
Yeah.
even like riffing on stuff.
I
So
do that.
when I watched The Godfather, I watched it on the box. Unfortunately, the Android box doesn't have subtitles. So the scene in Italy, I had no idea what was going on. So the thing is,
As you should.
with Godfather 2, all the scenes with Robert De Niro are in Italian. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to watch that on the Android box.
But anyways,
But
that aside,
yeah, sorry. This is bar talk. Sorry,
yeah,
friends.
yeah, Wing stuff is coming soon. Last
Word.
movie, obviously Scott Pilgrim, as I mentioned earlier, and you
Yeah,
were
and
you were
it's,
kind enough to skip that so I could get to it at the end.
It's just such a.
That movie, if I could ever point to a movie and say that is literally the representation of everything I have felt
Yeah.
and everything that I have grown up with,
Yeah.
that's exactly it.
It's-
The awkwardness of, and Michael Cera was just a perfect pick for Scott Pilgrim too.
and
Yes.
also, Audrey
100%.
Palazzo is just great.
Yeah.
Coffee for fucking Pilgrim.
And the fact that it was filmed in Toronto, like it's even
Yeah, a lot
got
of it-
like,
a lot of
No,
it's
this
filmed in
is
Toronto.
one
Yeah.
thing I find really cool about it. They actually use Canadian currency in that movie.
Yeah.
yeah, because
Ooh,
it
coins.
took place in Toronto, right?
Yeah,
It's a
it was
Toronto story.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a story about being a kid in Toronto. That's basically what.
Like it hits home on so many levels.
And it's just I never.
I mean, yeah, there is probably
got
some
bored.
Canadian bias for us because we're like, yeah, that's kind of our
It
thing.
had nothing
Yeah.
to do with that. I just
But
you
at
know
the same time, like, it's nerdy as fuck. It's video games, the movie.
Yeah, there's
Before
some Dragon
Wreck-It
Ball
Ralph-
Z
there's a
scenes,
Wreck-It Ralph
basically.
took it.
there's a one up in the movie.
Yeah.
Like yes,
There's
she's a fucking
bar.
one up.
There's like one of the first like pieces of music you hear in the entire movie is the fairy fountain from Zelda.
Yep, yeah.
And then, like-
somebody's like, "Oh, I'm just practicing Final Fantasy 2 on the guitar." Man, the erection I had in that movie.
He upgrades his fucking sword
Also,
out of his
the
chest.
music in that movie is so good.
So
too.
good.
So-
You know, Becca did most of that music, right?
Yeah, yeah. I had
Is
the
it on-
soundtrack. I used to have the CD.
I'm gonna check right now if it's on Netflix.
And I mean, some of the guys in that too. Like
own it.
obviously Chris Evans being the second Evil X.
Yeah. Captain Marvel is also in it.
Yeah, Brie Larson.
The other
Brie Larson
evil
is,
X.
Hello
is Scott's
again,
ex.
Yeah.
friend.
But like so many good characters in that. Obviously Michael Cera, Kim Pine
Yeah.
is also the drummer. I'm blanking on her name right now. which is
Macaulay
driving me
Culkin's
crazy.
brother.
Yeah.
Jay Baruchel's ex-girlfriend, Alison Pill.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Knives Chow obviously is a great character too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's in Glow now.
Yeah, that
Like there's so much to it. It's just like that's so.
that
cool.
movie is honestly perfect. And,
And
they
it
had
re-
the beat
it
'em up
really
game
do-
too.
It really
So
does
good.
represent so much of us as kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As like people we
Hell,
are in
even us
general.
as teenagers.
Yeah, I mean, us now. Let's be honest.
So
No,
it's-
no, no,
No?
no, no, no.
You tell me.
Okay, yes.
If Lisa's 5 evil ex-boyfriends showed up, you wouldn't gain powers and fight them all one at a time.
I'd rather just fight them just for the coins because I need money.
Adam,
Yes,
Adam,
and when
I
they-
present you the Master Sword to fight Lisa's
Is
5
this,
exes.
is this the sword of love?
Is that what
it's
it
the
was
Master
called?
Sword.
Well,
you
the first
fuck.
one he gets and he loses is the sword of love, and then there's the one
sword
he
of
actually gets-
self-respect.
Yeah, the sword of self-respect, or self-acceptance, or something like that. Oh, I think I
self-respect.
just hit the mic with the Master Sword. I just knighted his microphone.
Nice.
You are Sir Blue Yeti.
Blue Yeti. Da-na-na-na.
But yeah, no, that movie is just fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's
And
just-
that's the only movie that I have seen more than twice in theaters. Obviously, Avengers is the only one I've seen twice in the same day, but I've seen Scott Pilgrim 3 separate times in theaters.
I've done that with a few movies.
I have watched it probably a total of, I want to say 7,
Wow.
around that much.
I think the most recent one I did
So
was
some people, they're
Deadpool.
like,
In
oh,
theaters or in general?
No, just in general. And I know some
Okay.
people will be like, oh, I've seen this movie like 20 times. I don't rewatch a lot of stuff. My thing is with movies, especially, it's why I don't buy DVDs very often. If I've seen the movie, I don't need to buy the DVD because I've
Because
seen
you've
the
already
movie.
seen it, yeah.
Well,
Like, why
Yeah.
would I pay $20 to when I already know the story?
to be entirely honest, it's just like DVDs are such a fucking waste. And
Well, back in the day, right?
Yeah, that was it all you had.
Like we didn't
That was
have
it.
like obviously internet speed wasn't good enough, so unless you were lucky and you had a really good internet, you weren't line wiring anything.
Yeah. And if it wasn't on Netflix, it was the only thing available.
Have you ever seen that meme with LimeWire giving your computer AIDS so you can download a song?
I mean,
it's true.
I still remember the day when I found a site that had all the WWE entrance music, and I wanted to download Shane McMahon's music, and it took 30 minutes to download a 3 megabyte file.
Oh, God. Oh, I remember that.
This one dude from high school he had a major hard on for Fred Durst and Limp Bizkit.
Yep.
And he downloaded
Because it was all about the Nookie.
Yeah.
The
No.
Nookie!
So you can take
He was
cookie.
downloading the video for Rollin'. He left it on overnight from midnight and woke up at 7 a.m. and it just was finishing.
Yeah. So I think ending this podcast on not shit internet is a great way to
Yes.
look at it. If you ever want to talk about the future, not 56K dial-up.
Yeah. I think we're all going to walk away and watch Scott Pilgrim at some point soon.
And then the phone rings.
Oh, the
You're like,
Godfather.
"Fuck!" You're halfway into
Kids.
watching porn. You're halfway into watching porn.
To all the kids listening, you'll never know the pain of get off the internet. I'm trying to use the phone.
Yeah, just look at it this way. If you wanted to listen to anything on Spotify, you're waiting 30 minutes for that song.
Yeah.
Have fun with that.
Yeah.
And
Enjoy.
it literally, even if it's a 1 minute fucking song.
And then when you finally open it and it's got this weird like
Oh yeah,
sounds when you get the corrupted
You also
ones.
didn't even know if it was the right one. Somebody probably put an edit into it, so you didn't even know if it was the actual.
It's
single
just
file.
porn.
But yeah,
Totally not a virus.exe. This
man-
must be the song.
man, if memes were a lot bigger back in the day, every song would have been rickrolled on fucking LimeWire.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Also,
the
loading
best-
memes would take a full
The
minute.
best Rickroll I ever saw. It was St.
We
Louis.
we can talk about this at the bar.
Yeah,
we
this can
got
be
to
at the
get
bar.
out of here.
Okay.
So again,
Also, it's at the end of Wreck-It Ralph too.
I mean, the moral
No,
of the story is
because
that
this one's better.
the moral of the story is that clearly the best movie of the 2010s was the Emoji Movie. End of story. Thank you so much for watching this podcast, and we hope you enjoyed this entire thing. And as we will see you guys in the new year, enjoy the rest of your 2019.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Happy New
When
Year,
2020
everybody.
comes
I
around-
wish you all the best for 2020. Fuck shit up.
I mean,
kick
look,
ass.
there's already a really bad joke in this where it's like, look, next year could be a good year, but I mean, hindsight is 2020. So, well, with that being said, guys, thank you so much for joining us in this brief time that we spent together here in this decade, and hopefully that this continues as we go into the next one.
Yeah, we'll see you guys in 2020.
And it's going to be weird because after this next decade's over, we're going to talk about the 20s, and it's going to be fucking
That's
weird.
going to be episode
I mean, nobody's going to talk about the
1,000,000.
The 10s just doesn't sound right, but the 20s
Yeah, the 20s is going to replace the other 20s that we already referenced
that we
sometimes.
don't really know much of.
We don't. No, there was a crash of some sort in the market of stocks.
There was a thing.
Yeah. Also, in the 10s,
The
it
great-
was World War One.
Yeah, we don't really want to talk about it.
Yeah, because at this point, this isn't a world war. We're fucked. It's
Yeah.
a nuclear war or robotic
Well,
war.
we still got time.
Yeah.
Bring on the apocalypse.
Lock yourself in with Scott Pilgrim.
Sounds like a plan to me. All right, let's go do that. So, thank you so much, guys, and we will see you on the next one.
Later.